So talking about a simple example, if you search for Hindi recipe right now on Google, you will find us ranking on number 1, and it has been happening for quite long time, almost 4 years. Who are the competitors for this keyword? Well, there is NDTV. You know NDTV as a news publishing company, but what you might not have been knowing is NDTV, India Times, all these companies invest a lot of money on long-term content, which is evergreen content in terms of recipes and all. And almost 60% of the traffic which they receive is often this traffic. These people have a lot of resources. You talk about maybe more than 1,500 employees, and a lot of them curate content for this. And it has been 4 years, we as a small medium business, having the client, we have been ranking there for number 1 position. And despite having all these resources which they have, which they can invest on backlink, or you talk about content, or you talk about technology, they have not managed to outrank us. So if you have been thinking that, hey, you need a lot of funds to crack this out, maybe you need to rethink that. Maybe you need to define and you need to talk with someone who actually understands that space, understands the user, and then creates a plan of doing a lot of A/B tests, finding out what works, and gaining the authority on that position. So that's something which is very, very important. Okay, so this is basically my journey. I'm a computer science engineer who became marketer because I was interested in the topic. It started from a technology blog where I wrote how to get GeoSIM, and it went viral, and I made my very first $963 with that. And I took that money and showed my friends that I got money, right? And they were interested in working with me. So I purchased 2 second-hand laptops for them, and we started working from digital library to build the content, started 5 sites. Eventually what happened that we got enough money for our clothing and general expenses, but it didn't go beyond. So by 4th year, I had to work somewhere. So I joined this company called Shoot Order as a business developer. And the reason why they chosen me, because they felt that I can be a good asset to the company, because I had all these technical things clear about marketing since I was doing from the college. So in 8 months, I joined them as a business developer, suddenly became a product manager, and then I became research and developer who was playing with a lot of domains and finding out that what will work, what will make this website or web page rank on Google, what will make this answer rank on Quora, because Quora has a lot of answers, right? Why certain answers actually go on the top. So that was my job, and I went around hiring 22 interns to make it happen. And we did a lot of massive research and development there and gave result to the company. Unfortunately, company was they didn't scale, and there was an issue here. My stipend here was around 8,000 rupees. I was not working there for money, but I was working there for the early authority have got to do a lot of expansion. And they did scale on a couple of things, but they did not do, and I was not seeing a vision. So this is where STABLX came in the picture, that hey, if I want to do massive results and if I want to scale that, because I feel valuable, I will have to start a company, and that is where STABLX came in the picture. So STABLX started after 7 months of quitting Shoot Order. I get a call from a Shoot Order employee saying that, hey, Rana, congratulations on starting your new company. And I was like, oh, how do you know that? Just playing out, because we are now competitors in the local market, right? How do you know that? And it turned out that they got to know that I started it, and I was ranking for the keyword digital marketing agency in Hyderabad on the 2nd position, and they were ranking on the 1st. So they told me that, and I got to know about it. And finally what happened that, they got to know, and I was like, yeah, sure, I have been doing that. And yes, it has been going quite well. So having 22,000 rupees at the time when I quit my job to making the website rank without having any employee, building the whole tech and making it rank, it didn't take a lot of time. So if you have been thinking that it takes a lot of money and resources and funds to make this stuff happen, not really. You just need to have the right likely talent and mindset there and set of work which has to be executed, and it is very much possible to do with very limited resources. These are some of the slides which we already talked about. So this is basically the general analysis. The blue lines which you see here is the organic traffic which this company receives, and the red ones which you see at the bottom is the paid marketing spend which they have done. So you see that, this company, like, either you talk about Flipkart or you talk about Amazon or you talk about HubSpot, all of this has a lot of traffic coming in from organic. And this is what the goal should be, right? Now, can you simply implement it in your company? Can you have 3-4 people working in the company and can you just achieve that? Well, it is hard. It's not that easy that you can define it. We at STABLX basically define this in 3 layers. One, if you want to sell your product or service, the very first thing which your customer will likely do after you call them is they will search your business name on Google. So the very first layer of authority which you have to build is you rank for your business keywords, because it does, like, a lot of people do not know this stuff. A lot of, like, I talk about, if I talk about Shark Tank startup, which had a very complex name, they didn't have any search volume despite they went to, like, Shark Tank. So these were the issues. Don't have any complex name, rank for your branded keyword, which is the very first requirement which one should fulfill. The second thing is rank for your core services. If you're HubSpot, rank for CRM. Rank for sales, like, and if you are very specific to your audience, then you talk about, like, CRM for small businesses. You go niche on that. And once you go niche, your competition will be quite lesser. You will have very next set of action, what to do. And with limited number of resources, you'll be able to execute on the top of that. And finally, you will see some result because you are working on simple, like, set of work which has to be defined. So, okay, it got pasted. Yeah, so this is like, this is basically the pattern which you will see among all of these